xDrive 615. Let's go for a drive. This is the 2022 BMW M4 Competition xDrive Coupe, and I've had this ultimate driving machine for the past week, during which I've been daily driving it and experiencing all that it has to offer. As always, we'll take a look at the exterior, the interior, then we'll go out and take it for a drive. The exterior color of this vehicle is Isle of Man green metallic, a $550 option that really adds a lot of versatility to this vehicle. On nice, bright, sunny days, you can really see the sparkle from this metallic paint, but on overcast or shadow or evening-like scenarios, it's really a deep forest green. This is a very polarizing color. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm one of the people that personally love it. Every time I look at this car, I'm like, wow. This is gorgeous. This is just such a sick all-around car, and I think it's a great color, unique color for such a unique car. Total MSRP as tested is $95,345. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the exterior. As we work our way down past the sculpted hood, we've got our double vertical kidney grille. This was a huge point of contention for quite a bit of people, myself included, in the early days. When I first saw this online, I did not like it, to be completely honest. I thought it just didn't look right. It looked too big, it looked too out of place. Seeing it in person, spending the week with it, I absolutely love it. I think it looks absolutely incredible, and I think this is the new precedent. I like this more than any of the previous generations, and it just, again, takes really seeing it in person and spending time with it, having an open mind, and I think if you do that, you will come to love and appreciate it as well. And I love the shadow line touches through here. So this is all blacked out, this as well, this bit of the front, and then this through here is functional. This airflow will flow through here and exit back out onto the wheel and tire. So again, not only does everything on this vehicle look good, like the sculpting here on the hood, it's also going to provide some functionality as well. A lot of cars look good but have no functionality, or have functionality and don't look good, but BMW in this particular spec provide the perfect blend of the two, to where you get the functionality and you get the great and aggressive looks. And I just love the front end of this vehicle, how everything culminates into here. You got the BMW emblem right through there. You've got a camera right in the center. Now this camera is actually on the body of the vehicle rather than in the grille, perfectly centered. And then you've got some sensors down through here actually integrated into the grille. As we work our way over here, you'll see the gorgeous icon adaptive BMW headlights with laser light technology. Really finishes off the vehicle. Let's go ahead and take a look at the profile. So normally I'm not a big coupe guy, but this M4 is definitely an exception. It just looks incredible. It's perfectly proportioned in my opinion. Just everything about it is actually perfect. I think this coupe I prefer this over like the M3, because I think just the size of this is appropriate. And again, the proportions are absolutely incredible. Up front, we've got our M4 badging through here. Got a little bit of flare out. This is blacked out as well in that shadow line exterior. Up front, we've got 19-inch Orbit gray wheels, 20-inch in the rear. And those are stock, and just the stance of those is absolutely incredible. It sits almost perfectly flush. The concave on it in the rear and front is perfect. It's just the perfect all-around wheel for this car, and the angles of that really complement all the rest of the angles. Of course, up here we've got our iconic M side view mirrors. I love these. They provide the functionality, of course, with the airflow and the aerodynamics, having this cutout here, but to me it just looks so good. I mean, I just love driving around knowing I have these on both sides of the vehicle, and of course you can run your hands through here and it's allowed the air to flow down through here. You've got some nice body styling on this side skirt through here. This is blacked out as well, and that flows through nicely. All this trim out through here is blacked out in the same gloss black. That Shadowline exterior package is absolutely the way to go, especially with a color as bright as this. It really tones it down and keeps it nice and balanced. Up top, coming standard on this, is the full carbon fiber roof. Absolutely gorgeous, especially with the sun beating down on it from every different angle. You just look around at it and it's just so unique that it's just the full roof is in carbon. And we've got these roof fins that are in carbon fiber as well, molded. That's gonna provide you some airflow and functionality through there. It looks incredible, but again, serves a purpose, gives you that functionality. We'll work our way back through here. And again, I love the shape of this vehicle, how it tapers off, not too quickly, it's not too drawn out, it's just perfectly shaped in my opinion. This flows back here into this rear deck lid on the trunk. Let's go and take a look at the rear. Boy, oh boy, do I love the rear of this vehicle. It is fat, aggressive, meaty, stanced, whatever you want to call it. I just love the look of it, and it's just perfectly angled. Again, I'm all about angles, and this car really hits all the boxes. This bumps out through here, giving you that room for those wide rear tires, but this indents sharply through here. The shadow line black through this diffuser kind of bumps out as well. The contrast on these LED tail lamps on the red and green gives you some kind of Christmassy vibes, but it's really gorgeous, especially at night. We got the M4 Competition badging through here, and then integrated into the BMW logo is a rear camera. We'll go ahead and open up the back hatch, press that button there, automatic open. You do get a nice amount of trunk space considering this is a coupe. You got a little bit of storage on either side, and then to fold down the rear seats, you can pull this lever here on the right as well as on the left, and that'll give you access, full flat access to the rear. Soft close of the rear boot. Let's work our way down here where the magic happens. Quad exhaust, dual on both sides, and I love the integration of it into this rear diffuser. You got these fins coming down here on either side, anchoring in each of the two exhausts, and there's nothing here in the center, which I actually think that looks good because it kind of draws your attention to each of the two exhausts on either side. Blacked out exhaust tips. Let's go ahead and take a listen to those before we go for a drive. To be honest, it sounds all right when you're revving it up. Not too crazy loud. I prefer the V8 grumble, but this car does sound really good when you got the active exhaust turned on and you're really getting on the throttle, hitting some upshifts, hitting some downshifts. That's when it really comes to life. When it's just sitting here revving, it's really, you know, not at its full potential. But again, when you're out on the road on it, sounds incredible. Let's go ahead and hop inside, then we'll go for a drive. I do like how the door handle is also painted in this Isle of Man green as well. And we'll look down through here. You got the M4 Competition logo greeting you here on the door sill. And there we go. This is the Kyalami orange and black interior with carbon. These are the M carbon bucket seats, a $3,800 option. There's actual carbon fiber right there. That's hard. There's carbon fiber down through here, and then of course the full back of this seat is carbon fiber. So let me show off that first, and then we'll hop inside. So if you take a look at this, again, this is all carbon fiber. This is cut out through there. It's cut out down through here, up through here as well. These give you optimal aerodynamics on your body, at least whenever you're sitting in it out on the track tracking this, and they also save quite a bit of weight. You got the M4 backlit emblem there. I wish this stayed lit all the time. It doesn't stay lit all the time. It's generally when you're getting in and out of the car, it seems. There's certain times I haven't exactly figured out when all it turns on. I would think it'd be cool too if there was actual carbon through here. There's carbon everywhere else. It'd be nice to have it through there, but I am definitely not complaining. The only thing I'm complaining about is getting in and out of this car. Once you're in this, it's fine. It's comfortable. It feels good. Occasionally, it'll bother you a little bit, which I'll mention that later. But as far as getting in, that's the tough part. And you can see here, there's already starting to be a little bit of discoloration from my jeans, the dark jeans getting in and out of this. You can see there. So that's the biggest part, is getting in and stepping over this. Speaking of, we'll go ahead and do so. So I step in here like this, and right now I hit my leg. I haven't figured out an easy way to get in yet, but if anyone wants to share that with me, please do so. I'm 6'5" tall, so I am very tall, and my legs are perfectly on both sides. I feel like if my legs were any bigger, or if I was any wider, I would be right up on here, so that could be potentially uncomfortable. But let's go ahead and hit some of the highlights in here. We have the tri-spoke M steering wheel, carbon fiber through here. You got your M buttons where you can configure and set up the vehicle to your liking. These are my favorite paddle shifts of all time, hands down. Put it on the record. They're gorgeous. They're fully carbon fiber here on the front, and on the back they've got some nice grip for you here in your fingers. The plus and minus is actually cut out, and it's got red through there. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous and really ties in this and this, plus the cross stitching through here in the M colors. That's just absolutely gorgeous. Got the M badging right there. I'm a big fan of that. I always say that this is a good spot to put something on a steering wheel, so well done, BMW. Now, this I don't like. This is the heated steering wheel, which is great, but I just pressed it. How do I know if it's on or not? You don't know. There's no color. There's nothing. Well, oh, it says it right there, but now it's gone. I missed it. Now I don't know if it's on or off. Okay, now it's off. So that has always been a complaint for me, but you know, if that's the only thing I got to worry about, then we're in pretty good shape. We'll come down through here. Got the M embossment on the top of the gear selector. More stitching through there. Dripping in carbon fiber. Got an M4 Competition there. I think this would be cool if this was backlit, like the back of the seat. I think that could be a nice little touch, but potentially that could get distracting. Here's how you turn off and on the active exhaust. And then here you can set up the actual vehicle as far as the engine, chassis, steering wheel, brake, the xDrive. You can switch it over to two-wheel drive and do the drifting and the traction control. M mode, you can go from road to sport. If you hold it down for a few seconds, it'll take you to track. You can activate the track mode, and that'll turn off this so you're not distracted by that, and it'll show you everything you need to know right here on this center screen. This center screen is nice, actually. Not too big and overwhelming, and definitely not too small, and it's just super crisp and clean on the graphics, as you can see there. So let me give it a little rev, and you'll see those RPMs coming up on either side. This is just such a smart vehicle. So many different safety features, so many different capabilities all through here as far as the tracking. Again, this car will basically drive itself when you press this. It can't activate it when you're in track mode, so you have to switch it back over into the different modes. Here's the auto hold button. That's pretty cool as well. And then you can turn off traction control up through here and have all your different camera angles. This scroll wheel here is a way to change between the different pages, or you can swipe with your finger. That's probably the easiest way, in my opinion. It gives you some different data, tire data there. It even goes down to show the temperature of each tire. How cool is that? We'll swipe through there. You got some different data as far as the local traffic conditions. That's a pretty cool one. So I can see exactly where the you know, best route is and where the construction is. This one actually has, it's equipped with telling me when the road is going to be rough and some different rough points in the road, so that's super helpful as well. I didn't use this at all. Any of this was the preset for the different radio stations. Like I said, I did not use that one bit. That's to change between. Pretty much only used the radio volume, which I ended up just using this one here, and then to switch between the different modes. But then at that point I used my fingers just to touch it. Heated seats in the front, and then this is nice through here for all your climate control. I think this would be cool if this was continued. If this was all, you know, that same silver. Now I do like the design, how this is kind of like a, you know, I guess a trapezoid. I haven't been in math class in a while, but this shape through here, I see why they did that. But in my opinion, if this was this nice stainless kind of all the way across, that'd be nice, or even down through here as well. Maybe some carbon fiber touches. But I mean, carbon fiber, look at this, you got so much through here. One push will open that up. Wireless charging for your phone, a USB. Oh, got a call in the middle of my review. Look at that, this is real time, not scripted. Through there, that's the key fob, which I do like that. Again, M colors on it. Now I don't like this. This is the 12-volt plug. You actually gotta, you know, pull it out, and then I didn't know what to do with that. I kind of just put it in there if I ever needed to plug something in there. So that's a piece that could get lost or missed potentially. You do need to pull that down. And then let's look in the cup holder here. You got a good amount of space, at least for water bottle, keys, wallet, whatever, and you got a USB-C in there. And then in the rear, I didn't really do anything in the rear at all. I mean, you got this you can put down, and that will give you access to the rear. And that's about it. Not a whole lot back there. Again, as you saw earlier, these seats do fold down. You got the colors there on the seat belt. That's also in the front as well. Up through here is basically just your lighting. Nice frameless rear view mirror. Always a big fan of that. That's pretty much the interior. Again, I enjoy it. I think it's accomplishes what it needs to accomplish. It's very technologically advanced. You even get some more carbon fiber through there. So carbon fiber is definitely not lacking. There's a potential few extra spots, like I mentioned, on the back of the seat through here that it could be, or down through here. But you know, other than that, we are definitely in business. Let's go ahead and take this thing for a drive. Behind the wheel and on the road in the M4, what are we working with underneath the hood? That is a 3-liter BMW M twin power inline 6-cylinder engine with the 8-speed Steptronic automatic transmission, producing 503 horsepower from this engine with 479 pound-foot of torque. And with the way this vehicle is engineered and the gearing and the overall just handling, it's probably the fastest 500 horsepower car I've ever driven. 503, I'll give it that extra 3 horsepower, but a daily drive is 650 horsepower, 650 pound-foot of torque Z06, and this thing feels equally, if not faster. So it's kind of mind-blowing how far technology has come to where they can, you know, make it feel this fast coming out of a car that doesn't necessarily have as much horsepower as some. It's just absolutely incredible. So we're here at a stoplight. We're gonna do a little 0 to 60 launch off the line. You can do 0 to 60 in as low as 3.4 seconds, which is absolutely incredible. I'm gonna press the M mode button and I'm gonna go over into sport, and then we're gonna go ahead and get rolling. Plus we're headed up on an on-ramp, so we'll get to do a little acceleration there onto the on-ramp. I mean, this thing is just so smooth, and I like to think I'm pretty mature. I'm 28 years old. This car is very hard to drive normal, with just the overall track feel of it, and then the color spec. It just really gets you thinking like you're on the track. And again, it's just tough to drive it normal, so to speak, where you're not like, you know, going real quick around corners and going real fast around you know, the bends and the on-ramps. It's just hard to not drive this thing like you're on the track. So off the line, wow, that was 64 miles an hour as we head here into the on-ramp. And I really feel like I'm just on the track coming through here. And like I mentioned earlier, getting in and out of these carbon bucket seats is a little tough, but once you're in them, they feel like a glove and then just hug you when you're on the road. Oh my goodness. Like I said, I mean, I really feel like I am just on the track, ready to go. This should be, well, I mean, this is an absolute track monster, but it's also quite the fun daily driver to have around in the fleet, or just as your one and only. The only thing that's interesting is that this is not getting that much attention, surprisingly. You know, select people are noticing it, but I am very surprised that with this, you know, unique exterior color and just the overall look of this, that not many people are stopping and talking about it, taking pictures of it, looking at it. It seems like some of these other cars I get are getting a lot more attention. So again, it's very surprising. Either people don't know what it is, or they really just don't like the green color, and I'm leaning more towards that they're not necessarily sure what it is. You know, a lot of people may not realize that this is a $95,000, very track-focused, just all-around German monster. They made us look at it and just think it's a regular BMW, you know. So I interrupt this portion of the video to say I was wrong. Must have been an off few days, because in the later half of the week, people just could not stop looking at this car, taking pictures of it, making comments about it. It was like the center of the attention. So I think early on in the week, maybe I just wasn't around the right people, but I took this thing out and people were just couldn't stop talking about it. People, most everyone I talked to loved it. So that is a update that this will get a lot of attention, especially this color combo. So heads up with that. I'm not sure how much more attention some of the other colors would get, probably a lot. So I retract my statement that people didn't give it attention. It got a lot of attention, just not for the whole week. There you go. The people that know, really know, and then maybe you're just average non-car person again, but they think it's just a BMW and not understand the intricacies and the power and speed behind it. Oh my gosh. This car is crazy. The speed. that was, you know, speed limit, but the fact that it got to that speed so quickly, it's just insane. I did not feel like I was going the speed that I was going, and you know, without being too incriminating, that was triple-digit speed, and it went just like it's nothing. Just like you're just merging into traffic, and next thing you know, you're going, you know, crazy fast. And it, again, doesn't feel like you're going crazy fast when you get up to it. Getting to it is very powerful again. There's just so much technology and so many different things in this vehicle. You got the M adaptive suspension, you got the active differential, just all the different M components, all the different safety features, and you blend all that together, you blend the aerodynamics, you blend the engine, and you've just got one perfect package. Now I'm utilizing the paddle shifters. I'm in D4. I'm gonna drop it down to D3, and that was at 4,000 RPM. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so fun. Now these straight line pulls are good, but where I think this car really excels and shines and is just, you know, in its happy spot is in the corners. I mean, this thing, you just hit a couple corners, and speaking of, we're about to be going around a off-ramp here that loops around, and we'll get up to speed on that, and I'll just show you. And that's where these M carbon seats come in handy, because they're gonna hug your body and they're gonna keep you planted so you can focus on the road and focus on the driving experience, and it'll kind of work with you. So we're coming up here. These compound brakes are absolutely incredible too. I'm coming in from, you know, a high speed here, and I'm on the brakes. Just perfect stopping power, which you need, you know, stopping power when you've got such a beast of a car. Traction control's on now. I am in sport mode, but I could easily flip it off and go into drift mode. And if I was a little more skilled, you know, I could just whip it in here, but we'll come around this. Oh yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome. I can't get enough of this car. I become more and more attached with the cars that I get. Now, previously I said that the AMG GTC was the best driving car that I've driven. I am unfortunately retracting that statement, unfortunately for Mercedes. This is now the best handling and my most favorite driving experience that I've had. So M4 Competition takes the leadership position, because again, it's just such a fun car when you're just doing these fast pulls, or 0 to 60 pulls, or just, you know, ripping it on the interstate. But when you're going through corners, driving around, I got to drive Natchez Trace, some of the best driving here in Tennessee. That was absolutely amazing, hitting those big sweeping corners, and just knowing that this car really had my back and it was gonna optimize itself. This xDrive is absolutely incredible too, the all-wheel drive capabilities of that, how it, you know, sends power to different wheels, and it's just so smart. And that's what I really like about this car. Again, it's just incredibly fast, but it's incredibly nimble, and it's been a fun time. So I'm actually gonna pop it over here to the right, and that's gonna allow me to utilize this for my shifting, and that's been really fun too. Normally I never use this at all on cars if they have the capability, because I just don't like how it works. This one works great, and I've used that about a 50-50 split between this and the paddle shifts. These paddle shifts though are some of my favorites, mounted to the steering wheel, which is again perfect for when you're cornering, and they've got great grip on the back of them. They're nice and big, again, for my size, so that is an absolutely, you know, perfect combo there. As far as the comfortability for my height goes, I've got plenty of headroom. I've got several inches at 6'5", so I do really appreciate that. And then leg room's perfect. The only thing that takes a little getting used to are these seats. Like I said, driving a distance is fine, but occasionally I have been a little sore. So if I just did like a workout, which I did do a back workout earlier in the week, my lower back was a little sore. Thankfully turned the heated seat on, but this was kind of, you know, pushing in on me, so that definitely takes a little getting used to, and I could see how that could potentially, you know, get a little tiring if you're in and out of this, you know, quite a bit throughout the day. Downshift here. We're coming up on a tunnel too, so that'll be fun. Wow, this is like a heat-seeking missile. I point where I want to go on the road, and put the pedal down, and it just goes there, and it goes there smoothly. I mean, I am thoroughly impressed with this. And I've driven M's before, but that was the M SUV. This is my first coupe that I've driven, and I am happy to be behind the wheel. So we're gonna do some downshifts here, and then we'll get up through this tunnel. And it's been so fun. Visibility is great as well. Out the rear, like I mentioned, the aerodynamics and the overall shaping and proportions of this vehicle is great. Out the rear, hardly any blind spot. You get this B-pillar here, but you can see back to that second window there, so you're good on the blind spots. Visibility out the side through there is fine, and visibility out the rear is okay as well. So overall, good visibility on this car, hardly any blind spot at all. So let's go ahead and hit this tunnel and have a little fun. It's great too, because on this shift knob through here, you don't really have to use your whole hand. You can just, you know, hit it with a couple fingers, and it's very easy and ergonomic to use. So I'm downshifting now, M4, 3, 2, it's really getting all riled up there. Wow, wow. Oh wow, the shift lights came up on the screen too, and it was yellow and red, and it told me basically, you know, when to shift. The goes yellow around 7,000, 6,800, and then starts to go into the red in like the 7,200 range. So you get plenty of room to really wind it up. Wow, this transmission, the shifts are just so smooth all the way up to the 8th gear. I mean, it's just amazing. Now, if you want to make them a little bit more aggressive and not unsmooth, but it's a little bit more spirited, you can utilize the paddle shifters or the gear selector here, and you can really, you know, play with it and have some fun. I just can't get over these paddle shifters too. They feel so good, and I love just, again, the grip and then the red on the back. Although I wish you could see the red on the back all the time. Maybe if there's a little bit of more red on the front, you do have the plus and minus outlined in red, but this entire bit back here with the grip is actually red, and no one ever sees it. The only time I ever saw it was when I rewatched some of the footage. As far as the steering wheel goes, it is nice that you have these 2 M buttons, so you can basically customize them. Just with a click of a button, it'll go between, you know, the different settings. So in this case, M1's kind of set up to be the more comfortable long range driving. M2's if you really want to have some fun, and it turns off traction control, and you can get out there, do some drifts, and have a good time. So in my case, that's the setup that I use this week. That's what will work best for me. We go ahead and drop it down. Now I'm going to switch over to the paddle shifters now, so I can keep both hands on the wheel as I enter this corner. We go into M2, come through the corner, on the throttle. I am just blown away by how smooth and how quick the power comes on. It's just absolutely incredible. And I felt 100% safe during that entire, you know, pull through there. And again, I got up quick, and there were curbs, and there were other cars on the other side, and I felt fully confident that nothing would go wrong, and I wouldn't break loose, I wouldn't do anything. If I held the traction control off though, and put it into drift mode, started a drift session, if I was skilled, I could have ripped that thing all the way around, and it just would have spun the tires and smoked and just gone crazy. Again, I can't do that on the road, but I will do that in a parking lot. So here's some footage from that, a little bit safer environment there for me to be doing so. So enjoy this footage of that. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed that footage. I hope you guys enjoyed this entire review. If you've not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comments section below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Let's do one final acceleration. Whoa! That is awesome. There is a little bit of turbo lag, but you know, it generally kicks in pretty quick. Like I said, there's just a slight bit because this is a twin turbo, so it's got to take a minute to get sorted out, but once it gets going, it really kicks in, and it kicks in hard. All right, we'll see you guys.